Marcia Hines, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thank you.
We're talking to you because you've just released Still Shining, the 50th anniversary Ultimate Collection, a celebration of 5 decades of recording and performing. First of all, congratulations
Thank
on
you very much.
an incredible career. You must look back at this collection with a great deal of pride.
Oh, pride, yeah, but everybody else is talking to me about how I'm get taking all this in. But the truth of the matter is, I just work hard. When you work hard, you don't really reflect much on what was. You have to keep forward, onward and upward. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You're a great interpreter of songs. So what are the elements that a song has to possess for you to be interested in recording and performing it?
Great question. I think for me, and I'm starting to sound terribly repetitive, but I think singers, we are storytellers. So if it's a story that I can relate to, or a friend of mine has actually gone through, or something I've heard about, that's what I can sing. Or something I've experienced, of course. So it's a storytelling thing, and I like good songs. I like story. I find country and western people do it the best because it's succinct and it's clever. Like bang. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's very clever writing, yeah.
Yeah. But what about vocal influences? Who were your early vocal influences?
Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, I'd have to say, and Aretha, and Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald, and Nat King Cole, Mel Torme. I like a lot of the old school stuff. Sinatra. Most important, Mahalia Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you met any of your musical heroes along the way?
No, not really. I kind of I try not to meet famous people because I need to have people on the pedestal. And if you meet them and they're not nice, it really it shatters your illusion of them. But I met Barry Gibb. He was wonderful. And everyone said to me, "Oh, you got to go and meet Barry." And I met Barry. I've met some very good famous people, but I tend to sidestep that side of the industry.
Yeah, I read once that you met Joni Mitchell, and it was quite an inspirational meeting for you.
That was an epiphany because a friend of mine, Valentino, is a very good friend of Joni's. And I was in LA and he said, "Oh, look, I'm going to dinner and Joni would like to meet you." I went, "Okay." I took a big breath and I went to her house in Bel Air. And it was a lovely dinner, but somehow she and I just kind of floated away from the dinner party. She took me to her music room and talked to me about music. And she said, "So what do you want to do with the music? What do you want to do with you?" I said, "I really want to write some stuff." She said, "Okay, well, can you answer me this? What's stopping you?" And I went, "Nothing." And so lo and behold, I came back to Australia and found some really good guys to write with. And I wrote my album, Amazing. But Joni was one of those, I've found a lot of the people that I have met some, have been incredibly generous with their time, and they want to hear your story, just like I want to hear theirs. But Joni is an amazing human being, and still doing lots of stuff publicly. Like she was a trailblazer, man. That's what I call an incredible trailblazer. She's done well.
Yeah, I know you don't like to look back too much, but when you do think back on your career, what are the strongest memories?
Oh, gee, I think um, actually coming out of hair and going into superstar and working live with bands, like I had a band called Baxter Funt, and I worked with I worked with Steve Howes and great guitars. I worked with our musical director, God bless his soul, Jackie Ozowski. I've had the pleasure of having incredible musicians on stage, which has taught me. I worked with the Daily Wilson Big Band for a few years and stuff like that. That's what I look back on. I look back on what I cut my teeth on, and that's helped me immensely. But also, I've got a really strong work ethic, and that's from theater, because you got to show up. You're doing a gig like theater, you got to show up.
Yeah. You've had one manager throughout your career, Peter Ricks.
Yes, correct.
What does Peter do for you that maybe other managers couldn't do?
Well, first of all, He's my brother. He's my brother. I consider him my brother. We've gone through births, deaths, and marriages together, you know. And my mother adored him, and I adored his mother, who just recently passed. It's a family affair, you know. Like I've never wanted to be the kind of performer that was not so much a one-hit wonder, but I wanted to have a very strong career for many years in the industry, and we've managed to do that. We talk. I just did something recently today, and I called him up, and I was really excited because it went very well, you know. And we talked. We talked through. I mean, he's a guy. He's not sycophantic, you know. He knows me. Knows me. You know, all, you know, bumps and all, you know. And we talk. So he'll present something to me, you know, every once in a while, and I'll go, I'm not feeling that, you know. And then he'll say, well, think about it for a while. And I'll think about it and I'll still say, nah. And he doesn't get angry. And he says he trusts my intuition, you know. But you know, that's his job to present things to me and let me mull over it and work out whether or not, you know, it's right for me.
Yeah.
That's a great relationship though, man. You know, that's pretty special.
Yeah. Why did you decide to add two new tracks to this collection, Last One Standing and Hard to Breathe? And what was it about those two songs in particular that you liked?
Storytelling. When I think of Hard to Breathe, I think of my mom, you know, because she was a very integral part of my life, and there's not a day I don't miss her. I think about her a lot because the person you know, sitting or standing before you now is because of the mother I had, you know, and she wasn't. She didn't. She came to some gigs, but you know, she'd say, "Oh, you're doing well," and she'd say she was proud of me every once in a while, but it wasn't crazy. You know, my mother was very. She played things down very nicely, and I think that sort of allowed me to, you know, keep a hold on things. You know. And story, Still Standing, the guy that wrote this song, he's Scottish, his name is Scotty. I think he came in second on American Idol, which is an incredible feat. And they were all celebrating, he and his friends were celebrating for that. And they were in a car and it crashed and quite a few of them passed away. And he was badly injured. And as the song says, he's still standing. But I didn't know that when I heard it, you know, and then it was explained to me. It was explained to me when I was recording it. I went, wow, I want to really sing this song, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned Australian Idol. You were judged for 7 years.
Yes.
What did you get out of that personally?
Humility. Because, you know, there but for the grace of God go I. And all those kids wanted to do, man, was all they wanted to do was sing, you know. And I am once again the person that I am because of the people I've had around me who encouraged me with positive input. And that's what you saw on television. I see no need to speak badly to anyone. You know what I mean? It's so much brain power to work out how to be nasty. But if you're just being yourself and being kind, that's a much, for me personally, that's a much easier road to travel.
Yeah. Getting back to the album, when you're in the studio and recording these songs, in general, do you do many takes or do you like to nail them
Oh,
early?
you mean am I one take wonder?
Yeah.
Hell no. No, because I mean, especially if it's a new passage and I don't know it, because you actually get to learn the song in the studio, right? And if I don't know the song, then the more passages I get, and that's a clever producer as well. You know, they'll hear a certain part of the song where I sell it, you know, like I'm really there, or you know, I'm not sure about it. So that's once again a great team effort, you know, like a great team effort. You've got to be a part of the team. And I say to people all the time about being me, it's not just me. I've got an incredible think tank, incredible people around me who suggest things, and you know, and we modify, multiply things, and you know, like the guys in my band that I work with and the lady, um, you know, we went into intense rehearsals before we went out on the road with Still Shining, Greg. So you know, like it's all about getting it right to the best of your ability. The great thing is it's live, so stuff happens, you know. Like people like me forget lyrics, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say when you're in the studio, you're learning the song, and it's a new song. Do you find that as you sing a song over the years that it develops and you sing it differently?
Yeah, it sort of metamorphosizes, you know. I mean, it's funny because I don't listen to me, Greg, but I was somewhere where my song was being played, and I listened to it and went, wow. All I ever think when I hear stuff that I've already recorded, I think you could have sung a better note there. Why did you go there? But then I have to think, well, it's there, you know, there it is it's there set in stone, you know. So when I do it on stage, I kind of change things around a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. And that's how you keep it fresh. You know, you got to keep it fresh, especially if you're doing it every night. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about vocal maintenance? Do you have any recording or performing rituals that you go through before?
Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So I eat lots of ginger, you know, and I make ginger tea. Ginger is good for your throat. But also, you know, I studied opera when I was a kid in Boston, and I hated it. Let me just say, I didn't like it. It wasn't me. I was more into Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and Yusuf Lateef and musicians like that. But what I did learn was how important it is to care for your instrument. And so whether I'm doing one song or I'm doing a full repertoire of a show, I'll do a warm up. I'll do like 15-minute or a good 45-minute warm up.
Yeah. Any superstitions before you go on stage?
Nah, nah. I'm not allowed, man. You know, like, no. A superstition would trip me up, Greg. But so no, I don't have any. No, which is good. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just to do a good show. How about that? Yeah.
There are some great clips of you from the Gospel According to Marcia show that you did at Vivid that I've been seeing recently. Vivid's become such a huge festival. How was that for you?
Well, first and foremost, you know, St. Stephen's in Macquarie Street, they gave me the church. You know, wow. You know, and we were part of Vivid, and it was a very successful venture. You know, and like, you know, I mentioned Mahalia Jackson. I grew up in church. Most Black kids grow up in church. So I grew up in church. So that's the music I was brought up with, you know. And it just felt like when I did the gospel according to, I just felt like I was going home. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The band in the clips that I saw was Stu Hunter on keys, Dan Marr on
One and
guitar,
only. One and
Dan
only, yeah.
Wood on bass. Are they in your current touring band?
No, they're busy at the moment with Russell Crowe. All right. And Russell, I just did some gigs with Russell, and they were in his band, and Russell actually asked me to go on tour to Europe. They were all going to Europe, and I said, "Look, I would love to, but I'm busy doing some tour dates in New South Wales." So I'm doing my gig, and they're all in Europe. I think that the tour stopped about maybe a week ago in Europe. But there were some pictures they sent me from Czechoslovakia. Must have been 25,000 people at the gig. Easy,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, impressive. I would
Yeah.
like to have been there, but hey, you know, you can't do everything.
Yeah. So apart from talent, what else do you look for in the musicians that you work with?
Work with sense of humor, humility, and talent, you know, at their instrument. I play nothing. I play these guitars in the background. They look nice, don't they? I tried, but with these nails, you can't really play piano or guitar. But I learned back in the day, I would love to be an instrumentalist, but I think my instrument's me, you know. You know, and that was humbling in itself, because when you work with amazing guys like Stu and all the other musicians you mentioned, I'd never. And then Daryl Braithwaite said to me, I said, "Oh, I want to learn the guitar." Or he said, "Okay, just learn the strum. That's all you need to do, because other musicians were really good." And he's right. And it's, you look good when you strum. You know, I can strum.
You're on quite an extensive tour at the moment. I think you
Mhm.
played 2 nights in Orange on the weekend.
Yeah.
Is putting a set list together a difficult thing for you, and do you change it up much?
Well, we're into our third gig, right, Greg? So the first, I'm on stage for 2 hours. That's a lot of singing, you know. And so Peter, my manager, said, "Oh, look, you need to take some songs out because it's too long and it's hard on your throat." And so we took out like 3 songs. We've got a nice looking repertoire now. And I said to the guys the other day, listen, what we should do is maybe take one song out at each performance and put another one in just to keep our brains, because when you know what's because it's all written on the floor for me. When you know what's coming, you just get into that robotic stage, you just become a machine. I don't want that. I want it to be fresh. I want it to, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How do,
Making music's pretty cool, making music on stage is pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah, how do you think you'd go if you had to start out today in this social media age?
That's a good question. Once again, I don't know, man. It's a different animal. When I came up, you found a band and begged them, could you sing with them? Like that, and you'd hear people in garages or wherever you hear them. And that was the way you became a singer. This is a new thing for me, the whole electronic media thing. It's new. And look, you have to go with the flow because that's what it is. It's not going to ever go back to when I started, like in I'd say 69, because I came here in 70, like, and I was singing in talent shows in America with a band, right? And look, it is what it is. I don't know how would I go, because I often ask myself, Greg, how would I go if I had to do Australian Idol? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If I had grown up with that's the way it was, maybe that's how what I wouldn't look at it as strangely as I look at it now. But it wasn't what we did. And it's all good, because I think of the music that I was listening to when I was coming up, and I'm sure our parents looked at us and went, these kids have lost it. And the same thing applies for music now. I listen to American radio a lot, and just so I can be across all that's happening. And some of the songs I'm thinking, that's just me being this person. I just think, what? That's a song? Okay, well, okay. And you gotta always say to yourself, music is expression. And all these kids are doing is expressing themselves. So listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. It's your birthday next week, a milestone
Yeah,
birthday, I believe.
yeah, 70, yeah.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Any special plans?
I tried to moonwalk out of here, man. I tried to get out. I didn't want to party. I didn't want to party. The last big party I had was I think I was 40. But look, I'm gonna be very gracious and I'm gonna enjoy the party. I don't drink. So I might have a drink on my birthday, but I'm not a drinker. I've never been a drinker. So I'll have a drink and hopefully there'll be lots of stories be told about me. I don't want to know. But anyway, it should be fun. Yeah.
So you've got 2 dates up until November. What's happening for 2024?
Oh, I'm going into Greece. I'm gonna do Teen Angel, that song in Greece. So I look forward to that. I love theater. Theater is kind of really cool. Keeps you real. I like theater, and I'm sure there'll be a great orchestra playing the music of Greece. And that was another incredible part of our lives that we lived through. I lived through seeing the movie thinking, wow, wow. Do you know what I mean? So to be a part of the Australian production of Greece, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I guess you got to know Olivia quite well.
Yes, I used to go to her resort. Yeah,
Yeah.
God bless her.
Well, Marcia, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Still Shining, the 50th anniversary Ultimate Collection is out now, and hopefully we'll chat again one day.
Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it. Give your dog a cuddle from me. Is the dog there? No, no.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, cool. All right. All right then. Thank you so much.